I bought the beginner's guide with a certain amount of expectations from the game. Usually with games, expectations fall short, are met, or vastly overshot. With the beginner's guide, I'm still not sure which of these I got. My first impression of the game came from its trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, it's available on Steam. I'll also link in the description below. Feel free to pause, go watch now. It's only a minute and a half long. I don't mind. With this trailer in mind, two major expectations came up. One, this would be a game about choices. Two, this would be a game about a series of other games that led to a story about someone. I don't want to overanalyze anything. I don't want to delve too deep into what I think was meant by any part of this game. I think the game itself is a warning against such things. What I want to do is tell you what the game meant to me. I was thinking this was going to be something along the lines of the Stanley Parable, the other game by Davey Redden. I played that game thoroughly. I even took on the achievement of playing for the entire duration of a Tuesday. I played it from Monday night at 11:55 p.m. and played it until Wednesday morning at 12:01 a.m. This game is not the Stanley Parable, to say the very least. It's been a very hard thing for me to come back to this game. It's been very hard to want to review it. This game reached out and touched me in ways I never thought possible. It's very hard to explain, but I'm going to refer to the narrator as Davey, which it is, but I'm referring to it as Davey as presented to us in this game. If this person is Davey the real person, or if this is Davey playing Davey, I'm still not sure. Davey introduces the game, and it seems to me to be a dissection of game design and game theory through the eyes of his friend's work. Davey points out a subtle hint here or curious artifact there, and he is all around proud to present the theory to us. It seems to be a very happy, very welcoming environment and concept. As a beginner game designer myself, I found it quite interesting to have access to a full level in all its incomplete glory, with its bits and bobs to look at, no enemies to distract me, and only Davey telling us his thoughts, his reflections, and his ideas about the game. And then the game ends. I wasn't really given time to properly explore, but that was it. On to the next game. A ship, a gun, some music, and no goal. There was one part of the game where I thought shades of the Stanley Parable poked through. A branching corridor, but one half of it was blocked by randomly floating rubble. It was immune to my bullets, it was impossible to get through. Something strange happened at the end, though. You're presented with an ending, then it sets you back a few steps, and you're presented with an ending introduced as a glitch. The glitch ending seems vastly out of place, but feeling somewhat right. Davey gives us his impressions, and we're on to the next game. Now we have a brick wall, and controls don't seem to work. Davey seems like he needs to give you the answer, holding your hand and telling you how to proceed through this level. It seems rather strange to me, yet I did take his coaxing the first time through, just to know what to do at all. And then once more, boom, the game just seems to come to an end out of nowhere. Even though I want to explore, I want to restart, I want to see if there were other places I missed, especially with how this game was presented to us. Now, there's a dull exterior, a staircase, very little else. It seems again like there's little to do except go up the stairs. During my first playthrough, I do this without question. You're presented with an option that doesn't seem like it's an option at all. If you don't take it, it makes things long, tedious, and not very exciting. I took the option, no problem. It leaves me with questions about what else happens. What if I didn't take that option? My second playthrough, though, um, left me with two questions entirely. I didn't take the option. Um, I explored, I looked around, but I wasn't really sure if that even changed anything at all. There's another game that came a little bit too quickly with the introduction of the puzzle. The puzzle wasn't that hard. I figured it out even without Davy's help. Though on my second playthrough I was mucking around so much, I found out that Davy does chime in and helps you solve the puzzle. Throughout all of this, my curiosity about his friend, this Coda person, the creator of these games, according to Davy, I'm left to wonder what was going on, why Davy was presenting these games and not Coda. What happened to Coda? Who is this Coda person? The trailer had made me expect this to be part of the game, and it was delivering. I had no idea what to think beyond how much I wanted to know what happened to Coda. The mystery had gripped me, and I needed to keep playing. No matter how long, no matter how tedious the game chose to get. I pressed on through the odd house and the weird room of nothing of going through a strange hole, listening to a story ending in a dungeon, and then madness begins. David presents the thought of Coda starting to discuss things with himself, writing both questions and answers into the game that only he will play. I know something is wrong. Deep in my mind, I know there's something not sitting right in my first playthrough. I had no idea what it was and needed the answer. I needed to know what was going on. Coming to a long empty place with nothing but notes. Coda insisted that these were from people online. Davy lets us know that they are not. The only reason I didn't read them all was because I accidentally missed a couple. I wanted to read them all. One might have the answer in it, or at least a clue. The prison touched me deeply. Not in the way it was set up, nothing inside meant much to me. It's just the concept of feeling trapped inside my own life. This level's fairly big, but with lots of examples inside it. But it's really hard for me to put into words what it did to me. I loved the house cleaning. It was a little boring and I thought it would be endless, but something about it made me feel right. After a time, and the other person in the room opening up to me, I did want to keep cleaning a little bit longer. I wanted to enjoy the music. I wanted to see how far it would go. And then suddenly this too was over. Davy chimes in and tells us to move on. And no matter what I do, no matter what options I try, I poke around, I look, none of it brings me back to cleaning up the house. I don't know what to say about the lecture. It felt very out of place at first. Unable to move, watching someone else talk, reading the text on the screen. But then the perspective shifts. My heart sank. I felt like I'd been here before. The looming nothing staring deep into my soul. I was gripped. I was frightened. And all the choices given were real. Real feelings. Real thoughts. I couldn't help but to choose them over the perfection version of the options. I know for a while here all I've been doing is recounting levels as I went through them. It's very hard to come to a complete thought without level by level review. It's the only way I've found I can gather my thoughts to properly deliver my ideas to you. I honestly struggled for almost a whole week now to come to this. and it's something I wanted and still want wholeheartedly to bring to you. I don't want to shut myself down. I don't want to hide away from any of you, no matter how much the thoughts in my own mind tell me that I should hold up, give up, hide this review, forget about this venture, and just go back to being silent, unknown, unheard, without any validation or without anyone knowing how much effort I put into this. There's a chance that some of you won't like this. There's likely going to be criticism, rudeness, maybe even nothing. Not being noticed is one of my biggest fears. To continue to be nobody. To be just somebody nobody cares about. Recounting the narrative at this point, Coda seems to be doing just that. To hide deep within himself and push the outside world away. Something I've done a lot throughout my life. This part of the game is where I felt the most connection. I still felt right now it was a mystery, but Davey made a turn I hadn't expected at all. He started his own breakdown, letting us know his own deep, private, inner thoughts. There started being less control. I'm not going to let out Davey's revelation here. In order to hear exactly what I mean, you'll have to experience this game yourself. Then Coda starts to talk to Davey. Technically, the mystery is solved. The reason of both everything and nothing are revealed. It takes everything out of me. Every bit of will, every bit of confidence, every last bit of self. I know this doesn't seem like a good game at this point. Throughout all of this game, and trust me, it took me a second playthrough to realize it, Davey lies to us. Things aren't what they seem at all in any step of the game. It makes me question how much I missed, how much more I could find, how much more I should even look for. The circles around in my mind, following the very narrative of the game itself, because like Davey to Coda, I want to open up the games, find every last little secret, every hidden path, every secret door opening. I want to learn more. I want to find the full, real story. I'm hooked beyond any comprehension. I'm hooked more now than when I started. But now the game's over, and I'm left alone. It took me 20 minutes to bring myself up from the depths I was sent to. I felt no joy in playing other games right away. I was drained, left completely alone with an internal fight. Did I just play a game, or was this something else? How do I feel about actually buying this game? Is Davey evil or just telling us a story? Did I make any actual choices? Did the choices I know I made even matter? What have I done with my life? How can I stop shutting myself down and hiding? How can I be a better person and keep what little friends I have? This game is beyond amazing. The game is something that reached out and touched me. I played it twice now, and I felt exactly the same both times. I give this game a 10 out of 10. It really must be played. Not everyone will like it, but it does need to be played. Thank you all for listening and taking a time out to hear me, to understand me. And I know this is an odd game to come out and start reviewing, but those who have played it will understand. Thank you.